Uh, my name is Mark Davidson, and I have an issue that I need to talk about, and I don't know where else to go with this, so I'll just post it online. Let's start with a few things about me. I'm a pretty active person. I go to the gym about 4 days out of the week, and I go for daily runs. But lately I've been feeling, what's the word? Demotivated? Yeah. It's not like I don't like exercise anymore. It's just that everything had become way too routine. I told a friend of mine, Jacob, about my problem. Freaking Jacob, man. This is all his fault. Anyway. I told him about my problems. And Jacob's a nature freak. Let me put it like that. I'm pretty sure dude would turn himself into a tree if you'd give him the chance. Every time I'd meet up with this guy, he'd try to convince me to go on some nature walk or some trail run with him. He'd always bug me about it. And I was never into the whole tree hugging thing, so I never went. But after using every machine in the gym enough to know the name, how much everyone else uses them, and what time they'll be open, it'd become way too routine. So he finally talked me into it. He talked me into climbing a mountain next to the I.E.A. facility. And I'll tell you, I've never seen anyone so excited to climb a giant friggin' rock. Now, to be honest, the mountain climb was actually pretty fun. And it was a really good workout. Everything was going great until I got this huge freaking gash on my right hand thanks to this sharp rock that I didn't even notice until I grabbed it. Now, you would think I would call it quits there, but I didn't. I think back then I had something to prove. Anyway, we got to the top and the view was stunning. The sky was golden with slight shades of blue and pink as the sun set. It was amazing. I was speechless until reality kicked back in and Jacob noticed the huge gash on my hand. Now, at the time, washing my sliced open hand in a stagnant pond was a good idea, seeing that both of us were out of water and there were bits of rock and dust in my open wound. But not going to the hospital and just doing some rubbing alcohol on it, which hurt more than the cut itself, and some bandages was the really bad idea. A few days after the mountain climb, my hand was still pretty bruised, but it was healing slowly. Now, you would expect the pain to be where the cut was, but each day the pain would go slightly higher up my arm. It just climbed higher and higher. At first, I almost thought it was muscle soreness, but when I went to rub a particularly painful part of my arm, my heart sank. The vein on my arm, at least at the time I thought it was a vein, it moved. It moved out of the way of my hand. Now, I'm not saying I pushed it. It straight up moved out of the way. And then it started to climb up my arm. At this point, I was freaking out. I can feel this thing burrowing through my skin to my upper chest. Now, I don't know what you would do if you saw something crawling under your skin, but I'm not very fond of that concept. So I did the most logical thing at the time. I grabbed the sharpest thing near me, a pair of scissors on my dresser, and I started to cut a line in the path of this thing that was under my skin. A few seconds later, a thin white line about 1 millimeter thick appeared out of the jagged cut I had made. And as soon as it appeared, it tried to squirm its way back under my skin. So I dropped the scissors and I grabbed at it, making the already sizable cut on my chest even bigger. Then, I knew I had success as I felt a thin white line in between my fingers. Then I pulled. I was shocked to see after 1.5 inches, I was still pulling. Then after 2 inches, I felt a soft snap. Then I looked down at the cut to see one end of the worm squirming its way back under my skin. I grabbed the cup and put half of the worm in it and put a book on top. I went to grab the scissors again, but then I realized I could feel it under my skin once more. But this time, it was way more than skin deep. Now that I'm done with this, I'm planning on going to the hospital, and I'm taking the half of the worm. I know I should have gone to the hospital immediately, but at the time I didn't think this would take so long to do. I just want some feedback to see if anybody has seen or experienced anything like this. I'll be sure to update you guys once I come back from the hospital. I'm kind of getting a headache, so I'm gonna go to the dock now. See you guys later. Sorry I'm late, man. So what do we got here? Briggs said. White male, late 20s, early 30s, about 5'9". Eyewitnesses state that he ran to the front of the hospital holding his head and sweating profusely, then collapsed and convulsed vigorously, and dropping a plastic cup covered with plastic wrap. Contents are one 5-inch long white worm, about 1 millimeter thick. Poor bastard. Kid came so close, but you're so far. Did you say a worm? I mean, kid works at a crap ton. What the hell happened? Briggs replied. Here come the suits, Carter said. Oh crap, not this again, Briggs replied. This body is the property of I.E.A. You should know the drill by now, the I.E.A. worker said. Yeah, we already know. You people sure do claim a lot of corpses, Briggs said. Why the harsh tone, detective? And no respect for the dead? This isn't just some corpse, this is someone's kid, the I.E.A. suit said. Yeah, someone's kid you had to do with the death of, Briggs said. I.E.A. has nothing to do with the death that we claim. We simply do research on the bodies because you simpletons will never get to the bottom of these mysteries if we never were to intervene. Why, I oughta... Briggs said. Let it go, Briggs. You know how it goes with these guys. Yeah, I know. Let's go. One of these days, I'm gonna figure out what the hell's going down with that company. Have a nice night, boys. See you on your next case, Detective Briggs and Carter. Hello. Thank you for listening to my first creepypasta, written by me, Onyx the Madman. I hope you've enjoyed this story. Please, leave a comment. Let me know what you've liked and what I can change for my next reading. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. It'll help my channel get off the ground so that more people can hear stories from a world much like your own.